Hi, exploring whiskey people.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Eric.
And I'm Kevin, and this is Exploring Whiskey, where we will be sampling whiskeys from around the world.
Today, we're going to be sampling another Scotch. This one is going to be the Dalmore 12-year single malt.
That's correct. Yes. So this is the baseline from the Dalmore lineup. This is a highland Scotch, so tasting notes are going to be sweeter. This distillery itself was founded in 1839, but there is a very long history around this whiskey and the clan in the area. Mm-hmm. The particular clan, it's the Mackenzie clan of Scotland, the Highlands of Scotland. They saved King Alexander III from a stag. And while doing that, they were able to kind of claim the stag as their symbol. So now the bottles are adorned. Every bottle that Dalmore has, their bottles are adorned with this stag.
I love the stag on the bottle.
It's a great looking bottle with that, having that sitting on there, and the fact that it's a slightly oval bottle. It's just kind of a very neat look.
So interesting on the process for the Scotch. It spends 9 years aging in a ex-bourbon barrel, and then when it hits the 9-year mark, they take half of it, put it in a sherry butt, which is also another sort of cask, and the other half remains in the bourbon barrel, and they age the next 3 years separately, and after that they bring them back together.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to taste this one.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how those two blend.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Maiden voyage for this bottle. For Scotch, I will say,
dark.
it's very dark. Yeah, that's exactly my first thought too. Just in a glass bottle, that is a very dark color for a Scotch.
Ooh. It smells like dessert in a glass.
Ooh.
I'm getting all kinds of sweetness.
That is a lot of fruit. That is a lot of dark fruit. Maybe a dark cherry, black cherry type note.
Yeah, some cinnamon.
There, yeah. I just got that too. The
cherry. I almost get it's like a chocolate covered cherry. I get a hint of chocolate on the
wonder
nose.
what that has to do with that sherry, because the sherry does tend to have that more of a fruited note to it. That cherry in the sherry note, anyway. But yeah, that is a very dark Scotch, and that is pretty good oil sitting there.
Yeah,
that sticks up on the walls of the glass. Very nice nose. Very nice. Ooh, there's a smoke there.
Yeah,
there's a little bit
on the end.
There's a little bit of a cigar note. It's not like that. It's not a Lefroy. It's not an Isla type malt, like that kind of a smoke. But there is a little bit of a cigar note in there, with a whole lot of sweet fruits surrounding it. Highland single malt. So this is a 80 proof, which we've done enough of these whiskeys and Scotches and Irish. They do tend to hover more in that 80 range. They kind of feel, I guess, more comfortable there, or they can produce more there. But there's, for saying it's proof down to 80, a lot of notes. A lot of notes in there.
This is definitely an after dinner drink. Especially those have that sweet tooth. Aerating in your mouth, it pulls more of that sweet fruit.
Yeah, there's a lot of sweet fruit. There's just a touch of a chocolate. It's not powerful. It's not like an overpowering chocolate. The fruit comes through, and then there's a hint of a tobacco. Yeah, like that's. I keep going back to a cigar note, but it's like that really light cigar. You're not the one smoking it. You're just kind of in the vicinity of someone smoking it. Like that is one of their more well-known specialty bottles. They actually do a cigar malt.
Ooh.
Which apparently is one of the bottles that is totally worth the price. I want to say it's like $150 to $200, but everything I've read on their cigar malt, it is totally worth it to give it a shot and try that.
You see on the shelves here?
I've never
So one of those we need to go hunt for.
I don't think I've seen that one. I haven't really looked for it though. I could definitely see that cigar note if you amp that up a touch, but keep the amount of fruit and chocolate note in there. It could be really nice.
Yeah.
It could be very nice. So overall, like I said, 80 proof, 12-year split cask for the last 3 years. So 9 and 3 for that. It is a single malt, 100% malt. Overall, price-wise, mid-60s is what it says for MSRP.
Worth every penny.
72 is what I picked
Even
this up
that.
for. Still worth it.
Yep.
I think because this is the kind of bottle you're not going to go and do big pours on. You're not throwing this over ice and pouring like 4 or 5 ounces or any of that at a time. This is a 1 ounce. Enjoy it after a big meal.
Nice steak.
Oh, this would be great after a steak. That's a good call. I just like the fact that it's so much darker than every Scotch that we've had. Like Highland Scotch. Glenmorangie a Highland Scotch.
It looks more like a bourbon.
It's much closer to that bourbon color.
It's very tasty. Very tasty.
That has a lot of, it's a lot of sweet notes, but it's not candy sweet. It's that dark fruit. That little bit of dark chocolate, maybe some touch of caramel, but it's really light. But it's not that like, you're not getting a heavy candy sweet there. Really tasty. It's kind of funny. It's like in the middle. It's not overly dry, so it doesn't disappear. But for saying the legs, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be super oily and hang out forever.
Nope.
It doesn't do that either. It doesn't hang out forever. It's just kind of has a nice like mellow finish that just slowly disappears.
Yep. Very sweet on the front end. That hint of smoke on the back end. No, very delicious.
Yeah, that's funny. It's super sweet on the front, and then there's a smoke, and it just kind of everything dissipates out really nice and mellow. Like you just
Makes you want to take another sip.
You took a puff of that cigar, you blew it out, and you want another puff. It's kind of the same idea. Like you take a sip, and it all kind of rolls over, and then it just kind of mellows out real nicely, and it really just leads to what's the next? When are we doing the next sip?
So what's next in the Dalmore lineup?
So after the 12 comes the 15. There's an 18. They keep going. There's a 20-something, 23, I want to say. There's a cigar malt, and then they do special lineups that the price, as they get more specialized, the price accelerates greatly. They do a lot of individual bottles. If you watched the show Neat, Dalmore is one of the distilleries that they focus on for that one. Wait, that's not Neat. That was Scotch.
Golden. Is it Golden Age?
Because Neat was all bourbons,
Neat
right?
was all bourbon.
Yeah, there's one that's focused on Scotch on Netflix, and that was one of the places they visited was Dalmore, and it's the I don't know, the guy who's the master distiller there, he just looks like a Scotch master distiller. He's got like the little mustache rolling, and their glasses they do a little bit different. They don't do the Glencairns. They actually have like a stem, and they shake it around by the stem, and he kind of cracked me up. What was that?
They almost use like a smaller, like, was it a brandy sniffer glass?
It kind of looked like that, yeah.
This was
great
good.
nose.
This is really good.
Great nose. Super excited to move on to the 15 in another show. Actually sampled that bottle. That's really nice as well. So now I'm kind of interested to see what the rest of the lineup shakes out to look like, smell like, taste like.
Another good Scotch to try. Highly recommend if you see it, or if you're at a friend's house and they offer you a pour, highly recommend you take them up on that offer.
Yeah, this is definitely outside of the American whiskey and bourbon tasting notes. It's very, very different and very enjoyable.
I've enjoyed this one. Enjoyed learning more about the Dalmore Distillery. Hope you have too. If you like what you saw, Again, hit that like button at the bottom of the screen. You got a Scotch you'd like to recommend, we'd love for you to leave a comment for us to read. Love to maybe sample that on a future episode.
Also, while you're down there, subscribe to the channel. That's always going to help us get more people to see what we're talking about here and share, hopefully a little bit of knowledge and some at least a little couple notes on some whiskeys you might want to pick up. Hit the bell icon so you get notified every time we put out a new show.
We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.